Welcome to the Mischief. I'm Valen, and this is a little bit of something new I figured I'd give a try. This is basically going to be the FTB Achievements mod review, but it's also going to be more particularly involved in the FTB Pyramid Reborn mod pack environment, is where it's best demonstrated. And here you can see some of the humble beginnings of the FTB Modpack Reborn mod pack. I am not going to be showing you how to progress in this, more or less just how to use some of the tools and mods that might be involved in it. At least some of the more challenging ones, or rather new ones. In this case, FTB Achievements. Now, as you can see, there is a limited number of items here, and the recipes for which may vary depending upon the mod pack involved. It's up to the mod pack maker to create the recipes for these items. In this case, you actually have items that you can create in a non-standard setup. These do not have recipes, just if you install this mod, and it will require the FTB lib as well. But if you are to start using this, you will need a few basic items. That's basically going to be your resource generator and your CBEC generator. And then I will also discuss a powered crafting table as well. So to start with, we have this. A resource generator. If you look on the top there, it shows that there is a certain RF value, or the amount of power units that it currently has stored, some kind of speed and energy, as well as some kind of progress. I've put a couple of these entity frames on here, or item frames, as you can see, which also do a little something different. Now, what you don't see is actually this here, a CBEC generator. Now, if I actually break this, grab that, you'll see that it basically is the same on all sides for the most part, as far as any kind of versatility. It does have one side different from the others, and the top and bottom. It's just going to be used for generating power from heat. So if I put furnaces on one or more sides, each one will generate more heat. So let me grab some of this, a little bit of the wood here, put one piece back so I don't use it all up. But if I put a little bit in here, you'll notice that it will start generating power. There we go. The RF value is increasing. And that's allowing this to generate power into the CBEC generator, which you can see the temperature is increasing. Therefore, you're going to want a higher temperature to create more power, and so on. And this is feeding nearby power needing devices like the resource generator, which is going to be generating different resources, but it also has its own internal power reserve in this case. And I just put this on top of it. I can put it on the side, I can put it on the bottom, whatever, and it should work in most cases. Now, how does the resource generator work? That will actually make you resources instead of like having to sieve for them or things of that nature by simply making an item frame. In this case, item frames are actually made with wood, which is a very easy way of starting off things. So by putting this on the side, it can actually therefore receive information as to what you would like it to generate. Now, there may be certain restrictions on this. Usually by using JEI, you can actually check things out by pressing the U key to see the use of it. And I can tell you the different types of materials that it can generate and the cost involved in that. So you can see all 14 pages of all the different things you can make just at the cost of power, in this case, or heat from furnaces, therefore burning wood in this case. Let's grab an example item. I will grab an iron ingot. Something that you'll always need is going to be iron. Put this on here. Chest up here has one in it already from before. There we go. I am getting more iron, and it is using up the power that is currently stored at the top. You can see the progress bars progressing. Now to stop that, I just pop this off of there, and it therefore will stop producing this product. That is how the resource generator works. Now the powered crafting table, it basically will receive power from other generating or power generating substances. In this case, a CBEC generator is giving it some power. You can see it has a small amount of power stored already, which is actually a very large internal buffer that it has. As you can see, it can store 62 million forge energy. And then you can tell it to create things. In this case, let's grab a couple of buckets. I currently have one of which with water. And often you would start with a bucket of water, or a bucket of lava in this case, and this would allow you, at the cost of power, to create your first two bucket types, which you would then need to separate. Otherwise, by placing them, you might actually lose one of the buckets. And then you can create your own infinite water source, thus allowing you to progress on with things like a cobblestone generator and so on. This is just an example setup of how these things can work. What else can a powered crafting table do? Well, it all depends on the recipe setup. Once again, I press the U key and you can see all the different things that you can use it to make. In this case, it's being used to make some different upgrades and so on, as well as maybe a polar bear if you so desired. But it's all basically just a way of kind of gating things for instead of a crafting table, which doesn't have anything besides you just need the ingredients, or to change the recipe up. In this case, you could actually create a recipe and have a power requirement, therefore giving it two different ways of actually gating an item as well, instead of just your standard having the materials involved. Now, to further demonstrate a little bit more about this, allow me to show you in a, well, non-FTB mod pack related atmosphere. And yes, this mod is currently for use in FTB mod packs. As far as I'm aware, there is not a current version that is available for other mod pack makers as of yet, though Modmuse may be working on that shortly, if not in the future. Therefore, we have here a resource generator. As before, I said it will basically create resources from being fed power, typically by a Seebeck generator. In this case, I just have something like a simple combustion generator that you can feed some kind of combusted material, and it will create a power. And you can see here, the resource generator is generating power. Then you just place an item frame on the front, and of course, you would get your typical resources off of it as you would expect. In this case, it's not set up in the mod pack, so it's not going to produce anything, but you at least can see that. But in the top left there, you can see that there is speed and energy percentages. This is what I'm basically going to be discussing, as I'm going to be covering a bit of the upgrades and how they function. If you have an item frame on the outside, it will allow you to upgrade this, and then you can also remove it. For example, if you look here, this one is a resource generator with one speed upgrade on it. It's a first level speed upgrade. This one here has a first level power upgrade. This one here has a first level luck upgrade. If you look at the stats, the speed is increased to 120% from its standard 100%, and the energy consumption is increased by 10% as well. In this case, I have the power upgrade, which will allow it to use 10% less power at the same speed. And this one here will allow you to use 110% energy, or 10% more, but you get a 20% luck production on this for any resources that it may produce, therefore potentially giving you more products for your money. And if you are unsure on how this works besides this, I mean, this is a basic setup. You can just have one on here. But what I would do is I would put multiples of these on here. So let's try that. In fact, let's put 2 of these on here. Oh, look at that. It has increased further. Now, so it's at 144%, and I could even go another step and add another one, therefore making it 172.80002% faster at the cost of 30% more energy. But if you remove this, it then drops. And you remove this, it drops. And this is where things change. If I remove this one, it stays the same. You can have one default upgrade automatically set on it, provided that you don't have any others. So watch, it's at 120 and 110. If I put this back on here and put the level 1 speed upgrade on here again, you'd think, well, maybe it'll stack with the level, like go up a level again. No, it basically will only remember one of them. Now, this may change in the future. This is always a mod that's in development, as most are, but it will also allow you to upgrade with other things. In this case, let's put a power 5 upgrade on here. So therefore, boom, we've got faster and less energy is being used. I could always go, you know what, let's make it even more better. 10% of energy at 120% speed. That's phenomenal. Let's increase this further. 195%. It's great. All right, let's even go further and add some luck on top of this. Wait a minute, nothing happened. It's a little bit of an iffy thing here. It's not always going to accept things on the top or bottom, as that, in this case, is a quirk item that I have in this. It may be set up for that in the future, but just remember it's the flashy sides are the ones that you're going to worry about. Now this here, the Seebeck generator, will actually push power out of it and accept heat from any of the sides as far as I'm aware. You can put this on top of a furnace, you can put it underneath the furnace, you can put it on the side of the furnace. Furnace is everywhere if you want, and it will generate and push out, or it will accept and push out power and heat from just about any side on it. So that one should be relatively straightforward. But this will allow you some level of basically upgrading your materials. Now, not to say these things are going to be cheap to produce, because in mod packs usually upgrades cost quite a bit, as you will have to have made process for it, but this should at least get you on your way with understanding how these things better function. And here we are back at the pyramid, and just for one last little tip, you can see here this has 44,000 any kind of power value on there. It is wasted power. So don't pick these things up if you don't want them to be used. But something you should also be aware of is that if you're just trying to power things into a resource generator, you don't necessarily want to create a powered crafting table unless you have to. Because if you are currently generating heat into this stuff, it will split the power between the two units that you are connected to with your Seebeck generator. So that's just a little something to be aware of. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video on FTB achievements. If so, be sure to give a like, comment, subscribe, and as always, be sure to spread the mischief to others. If you want to support the mischief, please feel free to check out the links in the description below. Until next time, folks, I'll see ya.